I'm gonna go headphone. Yeah, I'm not gonna chance it today, y'all. All right, so I'm not depleted like I usually am coming home from the gym, mainly because it is a deload week. And what is a deload week? Half the intensity, meaning uh, I probably say it's more like a third of the intensity. Um, it's half the volume and half the resistance. So there's really not a whole lot going on that side. I worked on my movement patterns today. As you guys know, some weird, wacky stuff happened to my left hip over the weekend, and I'm very happy to be able to move pretty much 100% now. And it seems like I fully healed, and I'm going through this deload week so that my entire body can kind of heal from a lot of the heavy training that I've been putting in under, I would probably say the last 6 weeks, since my pops passed away. And I've been going like really hard. But my body absolutely needed to kind of recover. Hey, what up? Was that Perpy GT? What's goody? So there's really not a whole lot to talk about on the training end. I just, I maintained, the movement patterns or whatever. I didn't do the leg curl today. I know I was forgetting something, but I did, the leg press or whatever. I did some lat pull downs, medium grip, neutral, and near grip supinated, and some light dumbbell curls, just to keep my body feeling the motion. What up, traditionalist? What's up, man? You're late though, man. This is like my third stream of this type, traditionalist. You're late. You're late. A couple things I want to talk about as I head home. Number one, and I'm upset with myself because I don't remember the player's name, Moles or something like that. I've been very critical of the Los Angeles Dodgers and, manipulating the competitive balance, tax rules and the CBA, but they did something yesterday that I have to commend them on related to their manipulation of the CBA. The Los Angeles Dodgers had a player who performed pretty well around 5 or 6 years ago and even did pretty well in the playoffs for them. And he suffered some mental health crises that led him to just not be able to function like a normal human being. Okay? Normally, when a professional sports team sees that somebody cannot play the game at a high level, they release them, they get rid of them, we never hear from them again. But the Los Angeles Dodgers renewed the contract of a player who has not played since 2019. He suffers from schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And his schizophrenia is like super, super severe. My hypothesis would be that he might have dabbled in some illicit substances that cooked his brain. That's going to be because I don't know of a guy that has the focus to make it to the major leagues, perform well in the major leagues, and then all of a sudden he doesn't even know the game that he's looking at. So that's going to be my take on that. But nonetheless, regardless of what led to his brain really not functioning very well at all. The Los Angeles Dodgers renewed his contract so that he can keep his health insurance. That is the most W thing I've heard all week. And again, I'm not a Dodgers fan. I was very critical of the Ohtani deal, you know, but man, like looking out for somebody who can't make you any money, that can't help you win any championships. And, they have him on the restricted list so that he's not on the 40-man roster and he doesn't like negatively affect the team by simply being attached to the team. But by being attached to the team and them voluntarily renewing his contract while he's on the restricted list, he is continuing to get the health care that he needs. That is one of the coolest things that I think that I've heard in a very long time, and I wanted to kind of shout that out. I don't really see other teams really doing things like that, and I just think that is a really, really cool thing. I will be making a video about it on TSP, with the article that I read, and getting a little bit deeper into these specifics, because I want to make sure I get the young man's name right. I think he slugged over 600 in the National League Championship Series. Like that's major. And then after that, his brain just didn't work anymore. And I just think that is probably the greatest thing I've heard a North American professional sports team do in support of a former player. The next thing that I want to talk about, first of all, better late than never. Good to see you still enjoying your suspension-less Z4. The suspension is good. I like it. I like how it rides. Seditionalist also says, but nice gesture and a smart move. It creates goodwill that teams sometimes need in attracting talent. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for all we know, it is a business move. It is a strategic move by the Dodgers. But regardless of what their motivation is, they did it when I haven't really seen any other teams really doing that. And so I just think that is the bee's knees. And I have to give a lot of respect to the Los Angeles Dodgers for that. And yeah, that's my view on that. I'm going to talk about something else that involves substances that I did not find that was that cool. And you will also see me make a video about this because I have to show the receipts. So many of you know, I have been in a very long-term relationship where with the first person, we've been together coming upon 18 years on the 1st of next month, and about 11 and a half years together with that woman and another woman. Those who know me on TSP, Talking Shit Podcast, do I play basketball? I do shoot. I shoot around a little bit, Perpy, but I cannot afford to get injured because if I don't work, I don't get paid. And I do a very physical job as a personal trainer, so I have to be very careful about the things that I choose to do. And running full courts and putting my knee or ankle at risk, or shoulder, elbow. I can't really, go all out on the court like I used to. And I don't really know how to turn the intensity down because I'm very competitive. So I just keep my basketball stuff to like shooting around and having fun on that level. So I mean, I love basketball, not as much as I love baseball or hockey, but I love basketball. It's cool. But yeah, I'm over 40 years old, and taking a bad injury could really cost me financially. So I want to tell you guys about an experience that I had. And, I told you guys that I am starting a series that I'm trying to put together in the proper way, dating app adventures. And, most of the screenshots that I have are usually from Bumble, but I have some screenshots from OkCupid as well. And I had a very interesting, uh, exchange with an attractive young lady here in my city. But I wanna start by telling you about a video that I watched from a content creator that I respect. I watched this video maybe, I want to say, mm, 2 Fridays ago. So almost 2 weeks ago, I watched a video from my guy Cheese, and I think it was one of his What's Brewing videos, and he was talking about how he was reviewing a video of a black woman who was asking the question about surrounding consent. And we're talking about consent. We're talking about consent to sexual relations. Okay, so this is going to be one of those conversations. Um, hey, Jimmy Dean, it's good to see you again. Guys, please hit the like button so that more people will see me. This conversation is very important. So this woman was asking about what happens when a man and a woman both consume alcohol and they both engage in sexual relations. And she said, well, the way that it is looked is that if both the man and the woman are equally intoxicated, the man is the criminal and she's the victim. And there is no variance to that. There's no, if she decides the next day that, thank you, Perpy, I appreciate it. If she decides that she is going to revoke her consent retroactively, or she will say, well, I had alcohol in my system. I could not consent. Thus, he is a predator. Okay. Regardless of who was the initiator or the aggressor, he is the perpetrator. Okay. And that is the way that it is looked at. So what I will show is I got into this I think there was a video that a guy responded to that woman, and he was talking about a young man. Oop, not going to run that yellow. Um, uh, Jimmy, you make a good point. There's no statute of limitations on retroactive SA. Absolutely. This guy was talking about a lawyer, an old white. I cannot believe that a young black woman and an old white man was standing up in defense of this young black man, because you don't see that too much on the internet. But it was good to see. They're like, this is patently unfair. What happened to equality? And y'all guys know me. I use that hashtag gender equality all the time because people seem to only want it when it benefits them, or when it harms someone else. So this young man, had a little bit of alcohol. The girl talked to the woman. The girl had some alcohol. She was really down with it. Everything was good. Apparently, her parents found out that, and it was a white woman. Her parents found out that she had done this with this black man, and the girl automatically pressed the SA button. And this guy was in the deep south of the United States, which is notoriously unfriendly to black people. And, in order to keep from going to prison, he pled guilty, received no jail time, but had to register as an SO for the rest of his life. So his life is already over. He's just not behind bars. Okay. Now, this old white man lawyer who was helping on his case really marveled at how unfair the legal system is in these types of situations. and also pointed out that in the military, the U.S. military, the policy among the servicemen and servicewomen is that if she's had a drop of alcohol, do not touch her. That is the policy. How does that affect me? Well, the video that I'm going to record later on today, and hopefully one of the ladies will edit things and it'll get released today. Um, come on, guy. Anyway, some of these guys are so incredibly selfish. Anyway, so so how does this affect me? Well, as I stated in the outset, I matched with a pretty attractive woman on OkCupid, and what I'll show in the video is that she was very quick to return the match. So obviously, I was attractive to her. I'm pretty good looking, at least as I've gotten older, even with all this white stuff pouring out of my chin. But anyway, and she was quick to respond. The communication was quick. It was respectful, and it was courteous. That's one of the things I noticed about her, right? And I let her know that I have boundaries, but I'm also not only do I fiercely defend my personal boundaries, but I also avoid testing the boundaries of other people. And I understand, it's 2024. I'm a heterosexual black man, 6'3", and somewhere around 194 pounds. I'm already looked at as what Joe Biden would say, a super predator. Okay. So I understand very clearly that, most people of the opposite sex would look at me as a security risk. And, this is just the world that I live in. It's really not a matter of whether it upsets me or whether I think it's fair or not. Now, she asked me what my boundaries were so that she could avoid crossing them. And one of the first things I said is, a commitment to mature conflict resolution. That was the first thing. That was the first bullet point. And the second thing that I said is I prefer to not make any kind of physical contact with a woman that has any kind of psychoactive drug in her system that includes alcohol, that includes marijuana, etc., etc., etc. Wouldn't you know that she did not send another message after that and then unmatched this morning? Now, it's really, really funny to me, and I've been talking about this for a while because I did comment on Chisha Zed's video and say that I've been denigrated several times by several different women that I've gone on dates with, that I let them know if they have alcohol, if you've got a drop in that's active in your body, if you blaze the L one puff, we will not be making physical contact while you're under the influence. I made that very clear. And I was made fun of. You're not a real man. You're not, what's wrong with you? Are you gay? Your issue, you don't really care about enthusiastic consent. Just trying to protect yourself. One chick told me that. And one of the things that I continue to notice is that even when a man does something that does protect a woman, if they get the sense that you are trying to protect yourself in any way, they get really uncomfortable, they get really mad, and very quickly they lose interest. Now, we hear all the time, no means no, don't approach me at the gym, don't approach me in a parking lot, don't talk to women, don't do this, don't do that. You go on the apps, you're respectful, you do all that stuff. They still have, you do anything that makes it seem that you are not just going to do right by them, but you're also going to protect yourself. For some reason, there's like a glitch in their brain and they can no longer function. And it is a very, very weird thing to see. It's also kind of sad, in my opinion, but it's probably more weird than anything else. And I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys on my way home. Definitely in the comment section, especially replay gang. Comment down below what you think of the two stories that I talked about. I will be covering them more formally on the Talking Shit podcast. I just need to get in front of the microphone. I do appreciate every single one of you that come through here, and I will see you on the next one.